Good afternoon. We're going to go back and look at what Robert Breaker says about the word slave and doulos and servant. And the fact is, we find the same word, Greek word used for the word servant in Philippians 2:9. So he wants to say every time you see that word servant, it should mean slave. And some of the modern versions do translate that Jesus Christ was a slave or bondservant. Robert Breaker wants you to think Jesus Christ was a slave, people. Let's see here.
Comes from, and I hate to run to the Greek, but I just want you to give you those two passages. The first passage is Jeremiah 2:4. Now, for sake of time, I won't read that, but in that passage, God is talking to Israel, and he said that they were his servant, ... They were a slave to something. And so that's the first time the word, and this time it's in
household slave, house slave. It's Jeremiah 2:14.
plural, and this time it's future. And actually, I want to end with this verse as well as begin with this verse. But in Revelation 18:13, it's a list of things, and it's talking about the tribulation period, and the context is Mystery Babylon, the Mystery Babylon religion that's ruling the world during the tribulation. And they're going to buy and sell. They're the merchants. And then it says, and slaves and the souls of men at the end of the verse.
See, King James Bible knows how to use the word slaves and wants to use the word slaves. But it doesn't. It uses it twice. And the word there he's using for slave there isn't from doulos. It's from soma.
I thought that was quite interesting that slavery will be in the tribulation. And that there.
Why is that interesting? See, he thinks slavery is instituted by God, people. That's what I found out when I looked at his passage, his thing on dealing with First Timothy 6. He thinks slavery, him and his buddies, or PBI, think slavery is one of the institutions that God created, along with family, nationalism, and marriage.
Will be engaging in full-fledged slavery in the tribulation period.
Yes, this is evil.
The word slave comes from, and I hate to run to the Greek, but I just want you to show you this quickly. I'm going to try screen share and see if this works. Tell me if that comes up, George, my screen share. Do you see me screen sharing? Okay. Now it's looking funny, so if I can get to my screen share here. I wanted to show you this, all right? In Greek, the word for slave is doulos. And I guess you can see it there. I tried to make it pretty big here. That is the same word as servant as the word of slave. So there's no two different words like we have in English, servant and slave. In the Greek language, which the Bible was originally written, there was only one word. And the word slave and the word servant meant the same thing because they were the same word.
Yeah, just like you people. We got other Greek words. We got pais, we got soma. And the word servant can mean have other connotations beside the word slave.
And today, while we think, well, there's slaves, and a slave is somebody that doesn't have a choice. And a servant, well, that's somebody that, of their own free will, while they choose to serve somebody. But really, it's the same word in the Greek language. So
in the Greek language, huh? Same word, same meaning. So he's telling you that the differences in English, servant and slave, aren't real differences, people. That's what he wants you to believe. So you go to Philippians 2:9. But made himself of no reputation, took upon him the form of servant. What's the word servant from? Oh, doulos. Doulos. And was made in the likeness of men. So Robert Breaker is telling you Jesus Christ was a slave. When you see the word servant, you're supposed to see the word slave. This is the shallow, superficial, nonsensical teaching you get from this guy. The word doulos shows up for bondmen up in Revelation 16 a couple of times. This word bondservants show up. He doesn't want to tell you. He's going to say, oh, there's no difference in meaning. Oh, there's a very difference in meaning. That's what the word slave is using, because slave always has a negative connotation. So he wants to tell you Jesus Christ was a slave in Philippians 2:9. Because when you see servant, you're supposed to see the word slave. That's what he said. That's what he said the verse says. He says, oh, the verse says servant, Ed. And servant is the same thing as a slave. There you go. Robert Baker telling you Jesus Christ was a slave. And there's no difference between a slave and a servant. No difference at all. And it was instituted by God. Slavery. That's what he's teaching people. That's what Hoffman's teaching you. That's what Sloot is teaching you. That's what Kim is teaching you. That's what all these guys are teaching you. They just won't say it out loud. That's what they want you to believe. And you go to modern versions, sure enough, they're going to have bondservant, doulos, Philippians 2:9. New Mark and Stand, I believe, has slave. And what are we going to say? Slave has, in English, has a connotation of having no will. He's telling you, no, in the Greek it does have, see. You're supposed to forget the connotation in English and go to the Greek. So I'll stop with this up right now, and yeah, just what you get with this guy. So, have some more up later, dealing with him. I thought I was done with this subject. We really did. I guess not. Amen. Thank you.